This video is a response to everybody who's worried about ever getting their hands on Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes for any of these new products like Surging Sparks, like Prismatic potentially, like Journey Together. I know most people are like, oh yeah, they can reprint booster boxes, you know, there'll be a bigger quantity of those around, but if these bots just keep buying out the Pokemon Center, how am I ever going to get these in my collection? Well, I want to talk about, even though that they're recently new, Pokemon Center ETBs started with just Chilling Reign back in 2021. I want to go over what happened with these in the past when there was mass buyouts so you guys can get the facts, and something that Pokemon needs to do very, very soon, or else I'm really worried about their reprints and stuff. I'm going to be very scared if they don't do this soon. Let's get into it. Really quick, I'm Skiplup. I've been running an online store and stream at skiplupspokeshop.com since late 2020. We've had distribution, and I've been through multiple cycles at this point as a collector from the past to a store for years at this point. I want to go over what is going on with Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes. Obviously, we all know they're selling out everywhere. While there could be reprints of booster boxes in future sets, we don't really know what's going to happen with Pokemon Center ETBs. But I want to try to put you guys at ease the best I can here with some facts from the past. So, Vivid Voltage came out back in 2020. I kind of touched on this in my last video, but didn't really get deep into it like this. So, Vivid Voltage came out November 13th, 2020. Let's compare that to Surging Sparks. Totally different sets. Surging is a way better set, but we were going through a crazy hype period where prices are really high with this too, okay? So just stick with me here. November 13th, 2020. Everything was selling out. Champion's Path, Shining Fates was going for $150. Vivid Voltage for $220. And this was big. And no one could find Pokemon cards in any store, even bad sets, good sets, it didn't matter. Well, this kept going on from November, a little before November when Champion's Path came out, and it got so bad that Pokemon made a statement in February. On February 5th, 2021, Pokemon made an actual statement being aware that they're experiencing difficulties purchasing certain Pokemon card products due to very high demand and global shipping constraints. Okay, that's them referencing the COVID stuff and supply issues. They said it's an inconvenience, but we're working to address it where within our control. And they mentioned doing reprints, stocking stores, making sure the newest stuff is going to be available as much as they can. And this is really important because while we had major supply issues back then, Pokemon actually addressed it here, that they know there's issues going on and they're going to do the best they can to make this available. So this is the reason why I know everyone's saying this time's different and stuff because the sets are better and everything, but why would Pokemon not make money doing this? It literally harms their brand to not sell product and not have it be available for the next generation for players and collectors, okay? And they've done this in the past when things could not be found on shelves. Stores had nothing. This was a really, really bad situation. And I was through this. I went through this. My allocations were cut like crazy. I got nothing and I wasn't able to sell anything. It was so rough. Well, this is what Pokemon needs to do, is we need another statement like this to know that they're aware. They can do reprints, they can do things, but we need communication from the Pokemon company at this point. That is my biggest worry. And, you know, everything was happening for us, started with Surging Sparks and kind of went forward. So, honestly, I give them the same time frame. If we don't hear something by like early to mid-February at the latest, I'm going to be really, really, really worried about Pokemon. But I do have faith that they will be addressing this at some point in time. Again, here's the article. You guys can take a screenshot, read it really quick. And I know this doesn't address Pokemon Center ETBs, but that's what we're going to talk about right now. So at this point in time, when the article was made, there was no such thing as Pokemon Center ETBs. Then they came out with it during Chilling Reign, which was later in this year, and people just went crazy. They were like, oh my god, Pokemon Center ETBs, OMG, this is nuts. Why do they keep making things even better when no one can find products? Well, here's the thing that happened. Pokemon Center ETBs always, they went out of stock in a matter of an hour at most, really, for every set released. Evolving was probably minutes for Evolving, honestly. Fusion, even Lost Origin, even Astral, even Brilliant Stars, all these sets, they sold out within minutes. Here's the thing. A year later, and this is when Pokemon actually solved their issue, after making their statement, it took until the holiday season The biggest crashes I ever seen in set prices was Christmas 2021. Man, Chilling Reign Fusion, they had to run like the biggest clearance sales just to sell these sets. Battle Styles, it was insane. And now we're looking at $300 a box on these, right? But it took from February all the way till Christmas till we started to see restocks of some things, which is pretty crazy to say. And so that's kind of the timeline I'd give Pokemon, is give it till this holiday season. That requires us to take a break for a bit if prices get too high for some of you collectors. I get it. But if you refuse to pay the certain prices to collect right now, if we see a statement from Pokemon in the next month or so, and we know they're working on this, then we can expect probably the holiday season, maybe a little after, maybe a little before if they're quicker, to put this in their print schedule and get things available to us. But when they put these statements out, they're not making a joke. Anyways, after those Pokemon Center ETBs sold out, about a year later, 8 months later, 6 months later, they restocked these things. Brilliant Stars, Pokemon Center ETBs were sold out very fast. Lost Origin was. But 6-8 months later, they restocked these to an extent where it wasn't even news that there was a drop. Like, the people were like, oh my gosh, go quick. But then everyone bought what they wanted, and it was still in stock. And it's to the point where, like, we're now seeing like Twitter posts like a few months ago saying Lost Origin Pokemon Center ETBs finally sold out. Silver Tempest Pokemon Center ETBs finally sold out. Fusion Pokemon Center finally sold out. So we do have evidence in the past of Pokemon reprinting Pokemon Center ETBs to a point where everybody was able to get their hands on them if they wanted to. The key thing here is, and when everyone has fear in the market, is patience. You need to have the patience. Does it suck? Yeah, I know it sucks. It does. I know you want to open the new sets right away. I know you don't want to pay the crazy prices right away, but just have patience. There's no reason to go absolutely insane and go on eBay and buy this Journey Together ETB for $300, $200. There's no reason to do it. Wait the amount of time, and hey, you know what? If Pokemon doesn't make the statement, if Pokemon doesn't reprint this stuff, and you give it a year and a half, then just buy it. Then just buy it at that point. It will be less relevant of a set at that point. Journeys Together will be less relevant. Surging Sparks will be less relevant in a year and a half from now. And prices will stabilize to some sort of extent. You probably will be able to even pick it up around the same price it would be right now. That would just be my guess. But the thing I'm saying is, there's nothing wrong with just waiting a bit. We have evidence of Pokemon putting out statements, acknowledging issues with supply, and it's so kind of weird that the timing is like exactly the same. November with Vivid Voltage to January to February making the statement. I want to give Pokemon that same timeline. I want to give them that same timeline, and Pokemon, I hope you really address this. But guys, I'm just putting this out really quick just to say calm down. All right, if you did like this video, subscribe to the channel, like, and if you have other questions, I'd love to make a video about it. Let's talk about it. Thank you guys so much for watching.